This week on C Plus News Time, there's 5 more episodes of News Time left in the year, and I'm ready to take that sweet 3-week break because I'm worth it. But this week's episode still needs to be made. Who wants to do it? Ron? No, you can't even tie your own shoes without mucking it up. I am so not projecting my insecurities on you, Ron. At least not again, anyways. Jokes about Ron's personal failures aside, it's about the time of the year when everyone suddenly decides they want to give back. You give back, and you give back, and you give back. Everyone gives back! This weekend marks the return of Jon Stewart's Night of Too Many Stars, where famous people make you laugh so hard that you give money to autism research. Comedy is no stranger to charitable events. Why don't we take a look at a few of the most effective organizations? And who knows, maybe I'll convince you to donate. Please, Mr. Stewart is staring at me menacingly off camera. Oh, God. He too is here, Ron. Stop ruining the damn bit.
It's C Plus News Time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Want to donate to Night of Too Many Stars? Head to toomanystars.org/donate right now. Welcome back to C Plus News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the comedy news that you didn't know about for the week of November 6th, 2017. For all the fun comedy creates, it's also a massive community advocate. Just as musicians can throw benefits for nonprofits, so too can comedians. One of the biggest aid events is the Night of Too Many Stars, whose newest iteration happens to take place this weekend at Madison Square Garden. Pioneered by Jon Stewart, the event is geared towards raising money for autism research. You may recognize the name from the host's tenure at Comedy Central. The two would host that version of the show on a bi-yearly basis. Since its inception, Night of Too Many Stars has raised over $24 million to help those with autism live the same lives as you and me. All of this is done in conjunction with Next for Autism. But since Stewart left the basic cabler years ago, Night of Too Many Stars hasn't had a night. The host would eventually make appearances on various other shows in his absence from TV. He probably missed the heat of the lights or the glint of the camera, which is why Stewart locked in a deal with HBO, suck it Netflix, to perform his first special in 21 years. The deal also includes, you guessed it, a revival of Night of Too Many Stars. First-time viewers may be wondering what happens at the benefit. It's exactly as it sounds. It's a night of too many famous people. But these famies, as I call them, are here for one thing, to help. Famous faces like Conan O'Brien, Maya Rudolph, Fred Armisen, Sarah Silverman, and more come to do bits and raise a bunch of dollars. Buco Dolores, if you will. To promote the show's return, Stewart's been appearing on every late-night show in the known television landscape of white men in America, and that's a lot. Just look at the guy, so full of energy and determination, and all for a good cause. The best part for you is your chance to win any number of prizes, like a tense dinner with Jimmy Kimmel and Matt Damon, or a chance to co-host Conan with Conan O'Brien. I know I'm given just to be part of that pool. You hear that, Coco? I'm coming for you. As I said in the intro, Night of Too Many Stars isn't the be-all, end-all for benefits in the comedy world. Stand Up to Cancer is one of the other events that's very prominent. It's not as old as Stars or illustrious, but it's definitely up there. S Up Arrow number 2C is, of course, a cancer-based organization. Their aim is to, quote, raise significant funds for transitional cancer research. It was started in 2007 and launched in 2008 by a group of women suffering from the Big C. Stand Up to Cancer's main goal is to get the word out that everyone's connected to cancer in some capacity. Notable members include Katie Couric, who would then host a televised version of Stand Up to Cancer, the fourth of its nature to air. The special thing about these specials is their simultaneous airing across multiple networks. In their first 2008 broadcast, they raised over $100 million. Since 2012, the televised show has been going on sporadically. It's always a hit when it does air, though, and while it's not entirely about comedy, funny people have been involved. Eric Stonestreet, Rob Riggle, Ken Jeong, and more were part of 2016's festivities. Another charitable event is Stand Up for Heroes. This event went on this past week, November 7th. Stewart, Trevor Noah, John Oliver, Hassan Minaj, John Mulaney, Conan O'Brien, and more were there to usher the show along. The Wrap says the show is meant to honor veterans and families. Stand Up for Heroes is hosted by ABC's Bob Woodruff, who urges people to throw away their prejudices for those that put their lives on the line for our safety and freedom every day. Since its 2007 conception, the organization raised over $40 million. This year, they'll donate $500,000 to veteran services hurt by recent hurricanes. And these are just a handful of examples of comedians doing their part. There are so many more charities, like Seth and Laura Rogen's Alzheimer's-based charity, Hilarity for Charity, which was started in 2012 in order to get millennials to better understand the memory-wiping disease. Their mission statement is clear. They want to, quote, raise awareness, inspire change, and accelerate progress in Alzheimer's care, research, and support through the engagement of millennials. And HFC has a lofty goal of improving outcomes of families affected by Alzheimer's by 2020. Or what about Comedy Cures? This organization uses live events as a way to bring people together, no matter the ailment, as a therapeutic measure. They feature all types of comedians like Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Michael Ian Black. And then there's Red Nose Day, one of NBC's few successful stints as of late. This program launched in 2013 with yet many more celebrities than any other televised charity. The day is meant to raise awareness and money for impoverished children all around the world. Their mission is sound. Quote, we want every child to be healthy, safe, educated, and empowered for the future. In short, our goal is to end child poverty. This year, however, NBC let Red Nose Day stretch beyond a simple hour. For one, they had advertised it like crazy for weeks leading up to it. And the night of, they gave Chris Hardwick the hour to host a special star-studded special. It even spurred one of the more creative videos for any famous people-led charities I've seen, with a faux sequel to Love Actually. And they also allowed it to stretch into their highest-rated series, American Ninja Warrior and Running Wild with Bear Grylls. For Ninja Warrior, a handful of celebs took the course to raise money at each interval of progression. Running Wild sent Bear Grylls on a journey to Kenya with Julia Roberts, where they helped out Kenyans. There's no shortage of ways in which comedians love to help. Comedy is so rich with simply making people feel good. From autism research to poverty awareness, they go through the gamut of reaching out to those in need. Organizations like these continually remind us of why it's good to fight the good fight. If you want to donate to any of the charities, head to the description of this video for the links. And that's all the news I have for you for this week's C Plus News Time. Why don't you subscribe and check out one of our other videos? Of course, you're going to head to the website cpluscomedy.com, where we've got so many things that they come bundled in a neat little Christmas sweater. You can also follow us on Twitter at cpluscomedy, follow me on Twitter at ChadBlackWhite, like us on Facebook, listen to the Constitutionals podcast, and be sure to support Taylor Swift's reputation, because Lord knows she needs it.